just share with you some of our lessons. So I've shared with you what we've learned last year out of our impact assessments, just to share with you some feedback from our clients that have gone through the impact assessment process. For most of our clients, the biggest challenge is data. We have now made a decision. Whether there's data or not, we know we're not going to find data. Why? Because I've told you, M&E is not that developed. Very few companies, very few NGOs have got data management systems. So the first assumption we take is there's no data. Because that's worst case scenario. Whatever we find is a surprise to us and we're very happy. Worst case scenario, there's no data. So the point here is understand that not all data is equal. And this is the disconnect again between the development sector and the corporate sector. Let me explain to you. If you don't have baseline data, let me give it to you very simply. If you have got a program that is focused on primary healthcare, if you don't know in that ward what is the current status around primary healthcare, infant mortality, maternal mortality, clinic access, how am I going to know what's the difference that your program's made? Guess what? NGOs don't provide us with that data. They say, here's my program, we're going to implement it in this district. But I'm going to come 5 years later and look at what's the difference it made. So baseline data is where NGOs can really add value. And I'm telling you, if you start selling that, you spend the money, that's where you're going to make your money. Because nobody's got the data. The second important thing is not just the basic baseline data, but it's specifically data in a different context. And here I'm talking about socioeconomic surveys. Guys, if you focus on health in the Marubeng district, and you don't understand the current constraints, access to clinics, access to water, access to sanitation, the number of beds available, the patient to doctor ratio, the ratio between specialists and doctors versus patients, primary healthcare. If your program focuses on that and you don't have that to start off with, how are you going to know the difference you made? So what I'm saying is whether it is the NGO or the corporate, it doesn't matter. But the skill, and now we come back to the skills that we spoke about in the first section, is an ability somewhere, whether it's in the development sector, whether it's in the investment sector, is actually going to go and get data, research, information. And that's the different skills that I find both is missing in both the development and the corporate sector. And in addition to data challenges, the big thing is currently in our current way that we measure, the way that you currently do reports. And that speaks to the earlier comment around government only wants number of patients. Okay? So here the process is not just the missing data. It is the fact that once I've got the data, and I have 3-year funding from government for a primary healthcare program, but after the first year, my interim evaluation says, oh my goodness, we've got an enormous amount of dropout. I can't wait for 3 years. If my quantitative data said I'm getting 10 million rand for 10,000 patients, and I've got 3 years to prove that outcome, but in year 1, I realized through my monitoring data, only 200 patients went through. I've got 3 years. There's no way I'm going to make it up over 24 months. So when are we going to make that decision? But if you only focus on quantitative data, you miss that strategic decision-making process. And that is the missing link between current monitoring, current evaluation processes. We look at information, we just say, okay, I'll give you your next tranche of payment because you've reached 1,000 people this year. But that's all you look at. But at the end of the 12 months, you're not seeing, oh yes, there was 1,000, but there was only 1,000 in the first 30 days. Because the others have either died, or they moved to the city, or they're no longer interested in your program. Or they don't have the food to eat to take the medicine which you're providing them. And that's what I'm saying. So look at data differently. And this is what my clients are saying to me. Once you understand how to utilize data, you will very clearly see my program's designed incorrectly. I'm measuring the wrong things. I'm focusing on the wrong things. So therefore, I need to make quicker, better decisions with the information that I have.